Hello and welcome, everyone. I am so excited to see you all here with us today for Safe Kids Central California, our Lunch and Learn episode. Today we're talking about pool safety. I am Dr. Hailey Nelson. I have my flamingo float here with me, and I have some friends who are at the office. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and why they decided to join me to talk about a very fun episode about how to stay safe around the pool. So Dr. Hoyt, go ahead and say hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Hoyt. I'm one of the Valley Children's pediatric residents. I'm born and raised in Fresno, so I know how fun it is to be out in the water when it's nice and hot. So this is something that I'm really passionate about.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. And Mary Jo, say hi to our friends.
Hello, hello. My name is Mary Jo Quintero. I'm an emergency department nurse, as well as the water safety coordinator for our program here at Valley Children's.
Awesome. Thank you, Mary Jo and Erin, for joining me today. So pool safety, this is an important topic because we are getting into the warm summer days here in Fresno. And so as Dr. California, America 2021, I am excited to have a platform of injury prevention and safety, and this is a great topic to talk about. So Dr. Hoyt, tell us, what is the number one pool when we're number one pool rule when we're thinking about going swimming this summer? What do you want kids to know?
So the number one rule is to never swim alone. Even if you're a great swimmer or you have a teenager, everyone still needs somebody to swim with. And plus, it's a lot more fun with family and friends around.
Yes, definitely. It's a lot more fun when you've got people to splash around with. What are some of the other pool rules that you want to make sure kids know for the summer?
So in order to have the most fun in the sun, you also want to follow the pool rules. So that means making sure that you're walking around the pool instead of running.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. The concrete can get really, once it's wet, it can get slippery. And the last thing you want to do is fall and hurt yourself, because we know that we'd all have way more fun if we're staying safe and then in the pool having a good time with our buddies. So walking, no running when you're by the pool, following those rules. Anything else that we should tell kids?
So the other thing, the last rule, is to know what number to call. And do you know what number that is?
Oh, I know, but remind our friends who are watching, what should they call?
Remember to always call 911.
Yes, 911 is there for help if you need it. Excellent. So good things to remember. Swim with a buddy, follow the rules, and walk, don't run. And if you need help, call 911. Thank you. Now we have Mary Jo, who is the expert on water safety. And Mary Jo, I understand that there have been kind of some issues with the pandemic. Do you want to fill people in on what's been going on in terms of just the number of cases that you've seen due to COVID-19 right now?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we have seen an increase in the number of child drowning rates this past year. During the pandemic, we've all had changes made to our day-to-day lives. Parents are working from home. School for kids has also been at home. These differences in our normal routines understandably set us up for a lot of distractions. We know that parents can't be in multiple places all at the same time. And as much as we try to convince ourselves, the reality is multitasking is very hard to do. Any one distraction can have consequences when it comes to our kids having unplanned access to water.
Those distractions that take your eyes away from a second can be very dangerous. So let's go into those ABCs that I know you're a fan of to be able to help parents understand, what are the things? So what does A stand for that we want everyone to know about for water safety?
Excellent. A is for adult supervision. We want to make sure there's always someone who has the most important job of all, which is being the water watcher. Their only job is to watch the children who are in the water, whether it's a pool like you are right now, or a lake, or even a bathtub inside the house. In bodies of water that are bigger than a bathtub, if there are multiple adults, everyone can switch off. And I have an example of a water watcher's card, of which, oh, that's interesting. I'm disappearing on the screen here. Here, that works. So this Water Watcher card is something that the person that is watching is going to be wearing. And then about every 15 minutes, we're going to switch off to another responsible adult. Also, it's important to realize that children can lose consciousness in as little as 20 seconds while underwater. So therefore, it's critical for the Water Watcher to be mindful of all activities, including dive and five games and even breath holding competitions.
Yep. So that active supervision is key. And I know, like, as a kid, I love handstanding contests and diving for the rings and all of those other things. But that when kids are underwater and then they don't come up, how drowning can be quiet. And so really having someone whose job it is to have your eyes scanning, and that there are distractions when there's other people around the pool, when your phone, you're getting messages. So really having, I love the card for being intentional about whose job it is to have eyes on the pool and watching out for the little ones. That's really great. So we've got the active adult supervision. What does B stand for?
So B stands for barriers. And a barrier is something that buys you time to find a child when adult supervision has elapsed. And it's important to recognize this is going to happen. No one can watch a child every second of every minute of every hour of every day. It's the job of the child, especially that toddler, to get away from the adults who are supposed to be supervising them. So when they get away, a barrier buys us time to find the child, hopefully before they get into trouble. One of the best barriers, if you have a pool at your house, is a fence that goes around all four sides. And that's going to prevent kids from accidentally wandering into that area unsupervised.
Yep. Okay. And that all four sides is really key, because sometimes depending on where your pool is at, you might think that, oh, I can use part of the house and then do the three sides, but not realizing that kids can get out the window and then be into the pool area. And so you really have to make sure that your pool is secure from all sides, as well as making sure that you have the self-closing gates. So those layers of protection. So it's not one single thing, but making sure, again, that barrier to prevent access to water is so key. So, okay, so we've got our barriers for B. Our A was active adult supervision. What's our C?
So C stands for classes. It's recommended that everyone take swimming lessons, and then also adults and teens should learn CPR in case of an emergency.
Okay, excellent. I love swim classes, and I think it's so fun and vital for kids to know what to do when they get in the water. My children loved it for doing the itsy bitsy spider along the edge, learning how to, once you fall in the pool, how you grab the edge and you work your way to the side until you can get to the steps to climb out yourself. And so teaching them some of those skills so that if they do accidentally slip in, how do they get out? And having them learn that early and at a young age, while we're still supervising them, of course, but that's going to help, so that if there is that accidental bump and they're splashing in the water, that they know they grab the edge, they itsy bitsy spider all the way over, and they're able to climb out. So, okay, we've got our ABCs. Dr. Hoyt, do you want to recap what your teaching points were for us one more time before we go to wrap up? So remind us all of the good tips that you had for pool safety.
Yes. So again, rule number 1, never swim alone. Rule number 2, follow the rules of the pool. So that means walking around instead of running. And rule number 3, know what number to call help, and that number is 911.
911. All right. And Mary Jo, give us those ABCs one last time.
A for adult supervision, B for barriers, and C for classes.
Awesome. Thank you both for joining me poolside. I love it. We have some additional resources that we're going to be posting on our Safe Kids site. So if you are a parent and